What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this 2024 BMW M340i xDrive sedan. This one's finished off in Brooklyn gray. Big shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this super cool sedan for today's video. Take a look at their website, link down below. Underneath the hood of the 2024 BMW M340i, you're going to find the 3-liter inline turbocharged 6-cylinder motor. The B58 pumps out 382 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque. Paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission and the xDrive all-wheel drive system with a curb weight around 4,000 pounds, just under that actually, you're looking at 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. It also runs on a 15.6 gallon fuel tank with 23 miles per gallon in the city and 31 out on the highway. Overall length is 185.7 inches with a wheelbase at 112.2. Width is 71.9 and height is 56.7 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the 2024 M340i. This car is also a mild hybrid, so kind of cool to see the performance engine with a light hybrid system. We do have a nice set of LED headlights, nice looking DRLs, blacked out housing, and it fades very well to the kidney-shaped grille. There are active grille shutters beneath it. You can see a forward-facing camera. I really like the gloss black, and the grille is a good size. It really fits this front bumper with that kidney shape. You can see some sharp lines on the far side, a small vent to let air pass out around the front tires, more trim, and then an aggressive lower grille with more openings and active shutters. It's a really good looking car. I don't think you can argue with an M340. Very nice car with sharp lines on the hood, and you can see the more lines on the farthest side fading towards that windshield. Definitely a good color combination in the Brooklyn gray. And then at the side you get a nice set of gloss black wheels. We have the M Sport brake pads with the red color on the caliper, split 5-spoke design, some sharp lines surrounding it. And then you can see another sharp line in the lower side skirt. Sharp lines in the door. You're also going to see body colored on the door handles, gloss black mirror caps with that winglet like the M3's. And you can see the integrated turn signal as well as a camera. You also have all black trim surrounding the glass, roof up top with the sunroof, and this is a pretty proportional car. It's one of the smaller BMW sedans. Of course, the 2 Series is the smallest version. However, this is still a pretty good sized car. Nice proportions all around, has a really good performance focused look. Then you have a cool set of LED taillights. I like the red accents with the black, chrome for the M340 logo, small black spoiler, more badging in back, and a nice looking diffuser with gloss black. Dual exhaust tips with more gloss black, really nice center section, more parking sensors, and just overall a really aggressive appearance. Taking a look at the key fob, we have your lock and unlock, of course a trunk release button, some M colors on the side. When you go ahead and keep the car locked, of course with the proximity key, it'll unlock when you grab the door handle. This car has the Tacora Red Sensitech interior premium package in the M Sport package. You can see the really cool red interior, some silver accents all throughout it. Along the door panel, we have a contrast of black and red, some nice padding for your armrest, some silver trim with ambient lighting, window controls, mirror controls, release handle with lock, unlock, as well as memory seating. You have storage down below in the trunk release, the M logo on the door sill, and then all of your power controls on the left side of the seat. I love the red color, especially with the perforations. You have a nice leg rest as well. And then you can see it coming up all the backrests. Nice stitching design. Very premium looking interior. Then you get a 3-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel, heater button, as well as the M logo. And then now sitting inside the 2024 M340i, keep my foot on the brake. Go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, you can see your speedometer on the left side, tach on the right side with your gear, a few vitals all throughout it, and then of course you can tap the button over here and see a few things in the center for your trip information. If we cycle through our drive modes, which are right here, going into Eco Pro, it changes what you see on the screen and gives you a pretty cool depiction for your gauge cluster. So a nice look. Of course, you can even adjust your different sport modes, eco, and comfort modes. On the steering wheel, we have Bluetooth and audio controls on the right, cruise control settings on the left, and a nice set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. The stalk on the right side is for all the windshield wipers, turn signal stock over on the left side. To the left of the steering wheel, we have some ambient lighting along with headlight controls, one of your air vents, heads-up display system. You can see that whole infotainment screen, just some black soft touch material for the dashboard, and then this cool texture for the plastic trim. Moving to the new infotainment screen, this is BMW's new design. You can see all of our climate controls right here, temperature on this far left side. We can exit out of the climate menu and see your home screen. This is always going to be here, so at least you can always easily get to climate by just tapping that. Tapping the home icon, you can see your navigation, then a few more things are going to pop up all throughout this side. Under My BMW, you have a few things, and then going back to the home icon, there's a few more on this far right. On the left side, we do get a few shortcuts, different apps within the car. You also have audio controls, phone integration, and then just going to our full screen navigation. Now if I take the car, push this into reverse, get a nice size backup camera with a top-down view. You can even toggle this to get a few different designs for the cameras. We have a 360 view as well. You can toggle these little tabs, give you a little bit different design. And then if I go ahead and put the car into forward gear, you can see guidelines will change, of course, and everything will adjust. Then just tapping the P button, we're back into park. Underneath that, we have all of our climate control vents nicely integrated into the front, volume control, next track, and defrost, and then this cool pattern surrounding the center. Now if we open this up, you can see our credit card style key fob, which is a really cool touch for these cars. That pad is down there. You also have cup holders, USB port, and a 12 volt. And then you can see shortcut for traction control, camera and parking, brake hold, park and brake, and then a rotary dial on the far right side to adjust the screen. So it does make it really easy. You don't always have to use the touch screen. You can easily rotate the dial, make all of your different adjustments, and it just makes it super easy. You have a nice red material for the armrest, good amount of storage space in here, and then our glove box has a pretty large bucket, as you would expect. One last look at the 2024 3 Series. Nothing new and crazy updated for this. However, you have the nice new screen, still a nice interior, nicely up to date. Got a pretty large sun visor up here for the sunshade, LED dome lights, and then your mirror with garage door buttons. And then moving on to the rear seat space, grabbing the door handle and opening it up. You have the same red and black for the door panel, and then all the same materials for the rear seats. This can seat 3 people nicely back here. You can pull this strap down. You're gonna see an armrest with 2 cup holders, and then if you close that, you can even grab this upper handle and pull the entire seat down, which is a really cool touch to give you extra storage into that trunk area. And then pulling this up, the headrests are even gonna fold down for better driver visibility. You're gonna see climate control vents with a few controls. You do get your zones, 2 USB ports, and then a pretty good amount of space. So then hopping into the back seat with the M340i, like I said, this is on the smaller end of BMW sedans. However, this is still a roomy car. I'm 5'11", have a couple inches of headroom with the driver's seat at my height, good knee room as well, good foot room. The recline is in a pretty good spot. You know, you can't adjust that at all. However, it's in a pretty good angle to where honestly, you're gonna fit nicely in here even as a full-grown adult. We have some good grab handles, LED lights, nice windows and everything. So overall, the 3 Series, still pretty good practical family sedan. And being the M340, you know you have the power to have some extra fun. Moving on to the trunk storage space, there's a button underneath the BMW logo, can automatically pop that open. We have a huge trunk, very low load floor as well, so it really does maximize kind of space you're looking at in a 3 Series. Got a little bit of a cubby on the right side as well as the left side, and then you can even pull these latches to unlock the rear seats. With them down, you can see just how much more storage space is in the back of the M340i. They're gonna fold down nearly flat too, and there is a huge opening into the trunk. So this really is a good sized car with plenty of practicality for people, and space-wise, you can load this car up and make it a super usable sedan. All right, setting off now in the 340. This thing packs a nice punch. Obviously the B58 motor with a little bit of that electric assist from the mild hybrid system. This car is quick, and being the xDrive all-wheel drive, you have that traction all the time, regardless of what kind of road surfaces you're on. In the sport mode right now, this car is fun to drive. It handles really well. It feels pretty tight. Steering is nice and tight as well. But the cool thing is, of course, when you tone it down into the eco mode, automatic, the car relaxes, suspension's nice and soft, steering is way more lazy and just super lightweight. And it's a pretty nice, normal, semi-luxurious car. It's not the crazy, most refined thing in the world. You know, a 5 or a 7 Series is way more luxurious, but this is a nice place to be. Sitting in it, it's super comfortable. The seats are really padded, great visibility. The heads-up display has a really good image on it. Good view over your left and right shoulder. Windshield and everything is pretty large. So really no crazy blind spots or anything out of the ordinary. It's just a nice car to be in. The technology also works pretty well, easy to use. While not everyone likes the screen, once you kind of use it more and more, it's pretty easy. And I actually like it quite a lot. It's really simple, just the way it looks. And I like on the right here, this will give you some efficiency data in this drive mode. When I go into sport mode, you get these massive gauges on it now, which is really cool to see. Exiting out there, you can see your horsepower and torque, turbo boost gauge, and temperatures. This thing is fun. Pretty responsive too, and obviously we're not going crazy with it, but I've driven the B58 so many other cars, my own Toyota Supras. I've had friends who have this exact car. This thing is fun. You can truly push it, drive it fast, and it responds like a baby M3. Really can't complain with much of an M340. It's one of the best bang for the buck sports sedans, I would say. Now this costs the same as my own Audi RS3, which is definitely more of a big step up in performance. It has more horsepower, much more performance-focused driving aspects. It's a lot sportier, but this car is a little bit roomier and a little bit, maybe just a tad bit more luxurious, I would say. But even then, I would say the biggest comparison between this and an RS3, this is a little bit bigger, sacrificing a little bit of the agility and performance. RS3, a little bit more compact car with more performance. So kind of a toss-up between the two, just whatever works for the buyer, of course, but this is a pretty good, well-rounded option if you want some serious performance and some good sizing. One weird thing in the sport mode, I can actually hear the fake engine sounds through these speakers. The pops, I'm pretty confident, are coming from the speakers, not the tailpipe. That's one thing I'm noticing, or maybe they're just amplified through the speakers. But I can hear that. I've never actually been able to truly notice it, but I notice it in this. Other than that though, this thing is pretty fun to drive, and it does sound cool though, regardless if it's a lot of fake stuff. But we'll do one more little acceleration. Nicely gets up to speed. M340i, hard car to argue with, really good package inside and out. So my honest thoughts, my perspective with the M340i, nothing really to say bad about it. It is a really good, well-rounded sedan with a true amount of performance. I mean, this car is fast, it handles good, it's tight. You know, we're in the Sport Plus mode right now. Makes some good sounds, whether or not they're real or fake, it still makes some good sounds in the stock configuration. And it's fun to drive. You kind of can forget a little bit that you're in a sedan. It's a sports car at the end of the day that happens to have the back seat space. So it's a pretty cool, well-rounded option. Certainly no M3. That is a huge step up with the twin-turbo S58 motor versus the B58 single-turbo. And obviously that's like $20-something thousand more for the xDrive version. But if you're looking for just a good, well-rounded car that is pretty normal at the end of the day, but can also be really fun to drive, the M340 is that sweet spot. It doesn't go crazy in price, you know, under 70 grand. In today's market, that's not really all too expensive when you compare it to so many other cars these days. But it just gives you a well-rounded, fun to drive car. ZF 8-speed transmission is super quick in response. It does the transmission changes super quickly. You don't have to think about it. It's super solid. So I really like that aspect. And then, like I said, you go into the normal modes, relax the whole car, and this is just a normal, nice BMW car. Doesn't really drive much different than a 330i. I know a lot of people ask with these M series sports cars from BMW, they don't get backbraking. I know a lot of people think if it's the M car, it's the backbraking car. Even an M3 honestly isn't backbraking. You can daily drive an M3. This in comfort mode right now, it is no big deal. Absolutely a normal car, hardly any difference between a normal 330i. So it's nice that the M340 is that sweet spot where it has all the normal, conservative, easy stuff in a 3 Series, a base model one, but it still gives you a little bit of a taste of an M3. So it's a nice blend for sure. Like I said, the competition, an RS3 is a weird car to compare to because it is smaller, more like the Mercedes C43. That's probably the best comparison given they're the same size, really direct competitors. However, you have a 6-cylinder in this versus a 4-cylinder in the C43, which is a nice touch. This engine is really, really good. The RS3, like I said, it is more performance focused than this, but it's a smaller car. So you're sacrificing some of that space and usable interior, I guess, if you do need that extra space to have that extra performance. So this car gives you that sweet spot. It's a good size, you're not sacrificing any space, and you're getting a serious amount of performance and the nice refinements. Now, as far as technology, radar cruise control, lane keeping, all that stuff works fantastic in BMWs. It pretty much can be an autonomous car if you wanted to. So I like how good that works. And the overall comfort, you know, like I said, armrest in a great place. The seat, I can just sit back and relax. It's pretty insulated in here. You can kind of hear the road noise a little bit. I wouldn't say you hear any wind noise, but overall it's something just nice. It's a nice car. So last acceleration in turn, sport mode, everything. I like how you can configure the sport individual, all that sort of thing, just to really dial in the car. So for not being the M3, it gives you the fun stuff to where you can really dial it in. And if you modify it, these make well over 500 horsepower pretty easy. Taking a sharp turn now. Not too much body roll. You can feel the weight a little bit. You know, this isn't going to handle quite as tight as the M3 or even the RS3, of course. But well-rounded, sporty sedan, can't complain. Yeah, I think if you're looking for a well-rounded car with the extra size that some may not offer, this is definitely something to put on your list. So that is it for the 2024 BMW M340i, the xDrive sedan. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and big shout out once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this M340 for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.